Two of the most common questions that we get asked by our clients are, how much water should I be drinking each and every single day? And will the amount of water that I actually drink, will that affect my ability to lose weight? And so, what I want you guys to do is I want you to tune in to the Catalyst Fitness experience here, where we go over the answers to these two questions. So, before we get started, I want to make sure that you grab your own drink of water. So, enjoy. So your water needs are really going to depend on three variables. So the first one that we're going to look at is your exercise habits. So here's the deal, guys. Exercise plays a crucial role in your hydration needs. So any activity that's going to produce you to actually sweat requires that you actually replenish the fluid. So you got to make sure that you're drinking water before, during, and after your workouts. And for more intense workouts that last longer than an hour, you're going to want to make sure that you consume some form of a sports drink because they're more of an effective way to actually replenish the electrolytes that you lose when you're working out. So the other thing, the second piece, is your zip code. So humid climates and high altitudes, they're going to increase your dehydration risk, and it's going to require you to actually intake more fluid. So we live in South Florida and we get some pretty humid summers, so I want you to be able to kind of think about how your hydration needs may actually change based off of the time of the year, especially with where we live right now. The third thing that we want to look at is how healthy you are, which we call your well status. So listen, your body's going to lose water if you're sick, if you have the fever, you have diarrhea, or you're vomiting. So you got to make sure that you're consuming water when you're sick. So those are the three reasons as to why our hydration needs are going to change. So how do you know if you're not actually drinking enough water? What are the signs? How do you tell? So the best way to determine if you're dehydrated is you have to make sure that you pay attention to the signs that your body is telling you. So if you find yourself experiencing any of these following symptoms that I'm going to talk about, your body might be trying to tell you that something's up, that you're dehydrated. So the first one that we want to look for is thirst. Obviously, if we are waiting for that, we're a little too late. The second one is flushed skin. The third one is increased body temperature. The fourth one is rapid breathing or an increase of heart rate. The fifth is dizziness, and the sixth is weakness. So if monitoring all those 6 signs, just kind of feels like it's a little bit too much for you, and you prefer more of a visual indicator, you know where I'm going with this one, guys. So you can tell if you're drinking enough water if your urine is colorless or if it's a very pale yellow. So if it's bright or dark yellow, that's basically going to mean that you definitely could be dehydrated. And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to drink. And I'm going to give you some tips a little bit later on in this. So the second part of the question is, can water help with weight loss? So, drinking water helps you fill up space in the stomach and therefore can help you decrease your appetite. But, I think the big part is like staying hydrated also means reduced thirst. Okay? And this really matters because many of us actually confuse that internal thirst with hunger cues, so we get the two mixed up. So it really leads us to overconsume on foods. And so, one of the most important findings that we have with every single client, if this doesn't fail, is that when we get them to increase their water intake, they start to ditch these sweetened beverages that they live off of, like juice or soda, even a lot of caffeinated stuff, and they automatically decrease the overall amount of calories that they have, which will 100% be the only thing that's going to have a direct reflection on weight loss, because weight loss is a game of calories in versus calories out. So to recap, I want to make sure that you monitor the color of your urine and the signs of dehydration, and I want you to make sure that you make water a priority every hour. So one of the things that I do is I work in 50-minute intervals, and I take 10 minutes to stretch, just move my body, walk around, and I make it a point to grab some water. So I hope this tip helps this week. And most importantly, I want to encourage you guys to live your best life. We only get one shot at this. Hope you have a phenomenal week. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, make sure that you talk about them with us. Have a great week.